to say today is Juneteenth, and I did want to honor what what's happening in the world today. And like I said, that we're going to keep our foot on the gas, and we're going to keep the revolution going. Just because they give us a holiday or they take Aunt Jemima off, like they could do all of that after. For me, I want to see it in policy. I want to see laws being passed. I want to see the economy affected in a way that is going to benefit people of color. And then you can take Aunt Jemima off the thing. Don't start with Aunt Jemima for me. For me, like that, don't try to pacify me with these acts. And it was funny because we talked about it earlier that Juneteenth became a holiday so that white people could take a day off for work to commemorate the struggle and the pain of Black people. Because even though we say Happy Juneteenth, we know what has happened since then, and that we're still talking about this. So there was a video of a little boy who was playing basketball, and every time the cop would drive by, the little boy would hide. And I, as a mom, was affected by that in such a big way, because when you listen to the rhetoric of Donald Trump, that seems very aggressive and very threatening in terms of what he said about the Tulsa Klan rally that he's about to have, telling people, and it's code for people of color, to all of you protesters, this won't be Minneapolis, this won't be, it is like a challenge to us. And so I personally feel like I'm tired of the high road, and I want to know how you feel about this. I'm really like, I'm tired of being apologetic, being a child of an Afro-Latina, of immigrants, and we got Blackness, we have all of this, and everybody's meek, and thank you for letting us come here, and we really would just want to work. I'm tired of that shit. I'm ready. I'm like, y'all keep talking to us like we don't have hands. How do you feel about this reality that we're dealing with, where even the president is challenging us? And so I'll start with you, Chloe, because I see you talking.
I was telling my dog to shush, but yeah, I do believe that violence is the only way to get real answers. And you saw how quickly they indicted those 4 police officers in Minneapolis once people took to the streets. Even when Atlanta, as soon as they burned down that Wendy's, the next thing you know, they've arrested the man who shot Raynard in the back. And unfortunately, until people in Kentucky light that motherfucker up, there will be no moves to arresting the 4 officers who killed Breonna Taylor in her sleep. And that's just the way it has to be. And the messed up thing is, even though they're going to eventually arrest those people when people get violent, they're going to tell them like, hey, like they appeal to the police, like, we have to do this so that we can save the city. It's not really for justice. So let them have to do their backdoor deal, because in the end, they have to answer for what happened.
Flame. Go ahead, Marcella.
I agree. I just want to say, if people aren't familiar with what Chloe's talking about, it's been discussed by a lot of activists. There's a great book called This Nonviolent Stuff Will Get You Killed. It's a great book if you've never considered that, the other side, the non-white side, would use violence to make things happen. I mean, slaves did not become free by sitting around waiting. That's what they want you to think, but they handle shit. They have to.
Yeah.
Play.
I agree with that. I agree with what she said, Michelle said, but especially about the whole, we have to be accountable as Black people too for the stuff that we allow to get away with. That whole Amber Geiger case where she went in the wrong house and shot the Black guy on his couch, but the Black judge came off the bench and gave her a Bible and a hug. Yeah, I got fault with the judge.
Yeah,
I got a problem with. It's like I had to do this because this is my job and people are watching. I didn't appreciate that at all, because I felt like Amber Geiger was completely in the wrong, because first of all, you was on the phone with your married boyfriend who was in the bed with his wife, and you was upset because he couldn't be with you. So you walked in the wrong house and shot an innocent man sitting on his couch and got 10 years. I hope she never gets another day of sleep. First of all, the rest of her life, I hope the bitch is awake for the whole 10 years, because when you don't get the right sleep, it drives you crazy. Secondly, as a people, we have to meet fire with fire. I'm completely with you, Ida. All this taking the high road and turning the other cheek. I would not have lasted in the comedy game had I had that mentality. I've been in the game 20 years, and this was with other comedians, all colors, who treated me like dog poop, and I stayed in the game because I'm going to stand up to you. You're not going to chase me away. I'm not going to put my tail between my legs and run off. This is it. You want to fight? This is why I thought Kamala Harris would have been a great match to debate with Donald Trump, even though I think he's going to cheat anyway. But I never saw Kamala Harris being the president or the vice president because I needed her to clean up her mess first. I like her bulldog tenacity, and I know toe to toe she would drag his ass. Yeah. But in order for her to move that needle further, she got to clean up that old needle back in San Francisco or Oakland. She know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I still like her. I still want her on the cabinet if Joe Biden wins. I still want her in part of that. But going to Donald Trump and pussyfooting around, this is how Hillary lost to me. She was being too white woman walking around it. You should have hit that nigga in his head with a hammer with your mouth verbally in order to shut him down. But she didn't. You see that being complicit and doing it the white way don't work. You have to do it a whole nother way because Donald Trump does not care. And that's what they seem to be. People seem to be going. His followers and his Kool-Aid drinkers go to his foolishness and his rhetoric. So we're going to have to come in and meet him exactly where he is. You meet people where they are. He could be shut down because he's an idiot. So it's easy to shut him down. He's an idiot.
Yeah, but you know what I will say is when we say doing the things the white way, it's only the white way when they're talking with regards to us, because the white way is going into people's countries and destabilizing their country, stealing people money, going to kidnap a whole people and telling the people, y'all did this to yourselves. Yeah. Slavery. You talk about the natives, the First Nations people, that they have been so violent for so long, but then they turn around to us and say, you have the right to a peaceful protest. And then we accept that, right? And then, let me tell you what my grandmother would have said about Dylan Roof. The black people should have beat his ass. They should have set his ass on fire. That's what would come from my grandmother's mouth, because my grandmother was like constantly experiencing, she got spit on. And I'll tell you that when it comes to the Latino community and people who are immigrants, they are even more meek because they're made to feel like it is a privilege to be able to come here and work your ass off a lot for a little, that we allow you to come here on land that used to belong to your ancestors. Like, imagine stepping on the farm of somebody whose great-great-grandpapa owns, and they will tell you, this is my grandfather's land. Well, this is my grandfather's land. Yeah. And we have this idea of being meek, but that shit was fed to us by them.